There are 3 reasons that I chose this location to build my fire and ultimately a shelter if I wanted to spend the night here. Now the first reason is that the tree population in this area is all very young growth. Now I like that because it means there are no tall, sinister looking trees above me that might have a widowmaker limb that could fall in the middle of the night and crush me. The second reason I like this area is because these trees surround on all sides and provide a good opportunity to build a windbreak if necessary. Now a windbreak is just a wall of the debris that you would build up to protect your fire if there was a strong wind. It also serves to reflect lost heat back onto you, which increases the efficiency of your fire. The last reason, and probably the most important reason for why I've chosen this spot, is because there is a very good supply of burnable material all around me. The stuff here is very thin, very small, very snappy, and that's a good thing because if in the middle of the night I am too cold or too injured to travel very far, I have a readily available source of materials to resupply my fire. So, when I'm collecting fuel that would last through the night, I'm going to leave the immediately surrounding area completely alone and travel outside and bring all my wood back in. That way, all of this wood serves as an emergency supply. Because we have snow on the ground, there's a couple of things we have to do to prevent the moisture from killing our fire. The first thing, as you can see here, is I'm just digging down to the earth with the side of my foot until I come down to the actual dirt. This is going to keep the moisture out of the fire in a tremendous way. Okay, I've been scraping with the side of my shoe for about 10 minutes here. And as you can see, I've dug all the way down to the raw earth. Now that's a good thing because it means we're not going to have to melt through any snow just to have a fire. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line this fire pit with some sticks that I've picked up along my walk. And what this does is it serves as just one additional barrier that's going to protect our fire from the cold, damp earth. Anything that you can do to isolate your fire and keep it dry and keep it protected is going to increase your chances for success. Now all of that dry tinder that I collected earlier is going to come back into play. And what we're going to do is build our fire from the ground up. We're going to start with the most flammable material and we're going to put that on the very bottom. Now what I like to do is start with a teepee-like structure and then turn it into what a lot of folks call a log cabin method. Here I've got my next layer of wood, which is stuff that is just slightly thicker than the portion I put down before. And I'm going to start surrounding the teepee structure with this as well. And now that I've got my teepee structure in its initial stage complete, I'm going to take some of my larger kindling wood and set it off to the side so that when I get this fire lit, it's very close by and I can grab it and put it back on there quickly. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. I've got my tinder bundle here, which is very dry because I've been keeping it protected inside my clothing the entire time. And I got my magnesium fire striker, which I'm going to use to start this fire, and I'm going to strike it with the back of my knife here. Now, like I mentioned before, regardless of which method you use, if you don't have good dry materials, you're going to have a very difficult time having success with this. So, let's get to it. I want to get my dry tinder bundle very close to the teepee so that when it does ignite into flame, all I have to do is gently nudge it underneath, maybe get down and blow on it a little bit, but the flames will then catch on to the rest of the structure. The second thing is that when you strike your magnesium fire starter, you want to be very careful that you don't push with your blade and knock your fire structure over. The preferred method is to firmly hold your fire steel against the blade and actually pull away with the fire striker, just like this. The blade stays stationary the entire time. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. It may take a couple of strikes, but let's hope and pray for the best. Here we go. I'm going to hold it in close, lean the structure over, and make sure that that heat is getting absorbed directly upwards. Give it a gentle breath, and that'll make sure that all that heat is going in exactly the right place. So from here you can see that the teepee structure is working very, very well. And this is all because we're using dry materials. The only thing I need to do now is maintain my fire by starting to add on larger pieces of wood. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Paul Scheider from Hedgehog Leatherworks, and I'll see you next time.